Okay, today we'll be doing a routine inspection. So the first thing you gotta do is you gotta check the fluid levels. The first level I checked was the coolant level. So you just want to make sure that there's fluid in there, that it's, the right color, and that there's not like dust or debris or, things there shouldn't be. And it was relatively clean. The next thing I checked, of course, was the windshield wiper fluid, and that was dirty. Well, actually, it was empty, which means that it would need to be filled. The next thing I checked was the oil, and I'll do another video later on showing how to do a proper oil check. Um, you just pull it off, wipe it off, and check it again. There's a line on the dipstick that shows you where the level should be, and as long as it's within those parameters, you'll be fine. Yeah, but that's basically checking the oil. So the next thing that I go and check is the transmission fluid. Now, you're usually supposed to check the transmission fluid while the engine is running because it, circulates it better. However, I couldn't do that on this engine because there were other people working on it at the same time. So I'm just showing you the motions. It's basically the same as the oil. You want to pull it out, wipe it off, make sure the transmission fluid is, the color it's supposed to be, which in this case is pink. To make sure there's no, metal flakes or dirt in the fluid, and this fluid was clean. And you just make sure that it was good, and this level was a good level. But you usually do this while the engine is running. Okay, so the next thing I checked was the windshield wipers. Now, when you check the windshield wipers, you want to make sure that there's no mechanical problems with the holder there. It's by my middle finger, and I'm checking to make sure that the rubber isn't chipped or frayed or cracked. And I checked the other one. Now, you can't see it as well as I can on camera, but there is a bit of a crack in the windshield wiper rubber, and I will show you how to replace these later. Okay, so the next thing that I am going to do is I'm going to check the tires. Now, with certain tires, if they're open enough, you can just do a visual inspection of the brakes, just to see where they're at. And, to see if you really need to take off the wheels. Now, these brakes, they did not look good. There was almost nothing there, and you probably can't see it on camera, but they need to be replaced. So I'll definitely take the wheels off once I get the vehicle lifted. Now, the next step, of course, is to check the PSI. So, after you've checked the PSI, make sure you put the cap back on. The cap is to keep dust out of the valve, because imagine you get a little rock in there and it wedges itself, and, there goes your air, and that's bad. It's like driving on a flat tire. It's not good. Not at all. So, the next thing that I did is I checked the depth of the tread. After a certain period, the tire is no longer safe to drive and they will need to be replaced. Okay. After you have checked everything you could on the vehicle while it was on the ground, you lift it. You have to make sure that the pads are situated on a part of the vehicle that is not going to bend, and you lift it. Now, you lift it a couple inches and you rock the car to make sure it's secure, because it's a lot safer for the vehicle to fall from 3 inches than 3 feet. It would still be damaged, but it wouldn't be nearly as bad or as dangerous if it fell while it was on the lift this high. Now, as you're lifting it, you'll hear a click, and that's the safety mechanism to make sure that it doesn't bleed down because it's using hydraulic pressure. And right here, the lock didn't seat. So I had to raise it back up and make sure that the lock locked, so that way it would be safe to go under. And there it goes. That's lifting. And now you check under the vehicle. Alright, so now you get under the vehicle and you check things. I'm checking the bushings. I also checked the mounts under the engine and everything else. The only footage I got though was me checking the rear suspension. So those there are stops, and if your suspension hits them, it stops from smacking the body. And also, since I saw the brakes were a problem, I removed the tire and I'm checking the depth of the brakes. These brakes were good. The back brakes, no, they were non-existent. So, 8 millimeters, just, light wear. They've had them for a while, but they don't need to be replaced. And after you've checked everything, you make sure everyone's clear, you just lower down the vehicle and it's ready to either go to another guy to fix what you couldn't do, or to be released back to the customer safe and sound. And that is how you do a routine inspection. Thank you very much for watching.